Good morning. I think I'm recording. Yeah. Lights, camera, action. Let's get going. Had to stop for a wee. Left my lights on. Just so that no fairies would come along. Well, he's close. Okay, so what's been happening? Well, quite a bit of fuckwittery. Yeah, that's how it is, isn't it? You know. So anyway, this morning it's 4:23 in the morning. I'm on the A5 southbound coming up to Toaster. A5, that's what I said, wasn't it? A5 southbound to get onto the A43 to get back down towards Southampton. So the story so far. I think I left you. I was going up towards Donington. Got up to Donington, no problem at all. Got in there, tipped. I was on an hour and a half, I think it was. Hour and a half, 2 hours, no problem at all. Good as gold. Out of there, heading south, and I got down to Cambridge Services. Cambridge Services. It was roasting hot on Wednesday night. Absolutely scorchio. The outside temperature when I pulled into the Cambridge Services was 36 degrees, so it's 40 plus in the cab. Made for a rather uncomfortable evening and night. Didn't get a great deal of sleep. So I think I ended up with about 12 hours off, which was much needed, to be honest with you. And then from there I went to London Gate. I was going down the London Gateway. And I couldn't get a VBS till late, so I had plenty of time to get down there. I only had about 70 mile to go. Down to there, and then I was going up to Sheffield, just outside of Sheffield, just north of Sheffield, to do a dip and turn, drop and swap. Nice and easy, you'd have thought. Trouble is, I got in there an hour before I should have. Well, I got in there just after 3 o'clock, and I was due in at 4. So got in there, and they said we just had to turn one of your boys away. I said, oh, why's that? He says, well, the box that he's collected isn't ready yet. What box are you after? And I went, the one on the bay with the green lights, I reckon it's ready to go. And he says, let me just have a quick check on that. He says, no, that ain't been tipped either. I was like, right. And one of our other lads was in there on a bay. And he'd been in there since 10 o'clock in the morning. And he's had 2 20s. And he's still, and this was at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And he hadn't had his second box done. He was just finishing when I was, well, he was just finishing at just about 4:30. So I said, so what time do you reckon this box will be done? And he says, well, my box will be done. And he says, well, we've got a live tip at the moment, then there's another live tip to do, and then there's another, oh, there's two live tips. I think there was 2 live tips to do, and they take precedence over over, you know, boxes that aren't live. So there's 2 live tips to do, and then the bloke who was in front of me, so that's 3, and then mine is 4. And I went, what time do you reckon? And he said, oh, probably that'll be tomorrow morning, mate. I went, fucking hell, right, okay. Best I make a phone call. Make a phone call. Yeah. Not too sure what's going to happen here. Leave it with me. I'll phone you back in half an hour. So I'd already dropped my trailer there, and you know. So And then I went outside, pulled out off the premises, pulled outside, parked up.
After a quarter of a mile, go right on the roundabout and take the third exit, A43, towards Oxford.
And I get a phone call and it said, he says, yeah, that trailer you took in, you dragged all the way up from London Gateway? I said, yeah. He says, now you've got to drag it all the way back to Southampton. We're throwing our toys out of the pram. I went, right, okay. See, the trouble is, if we leave, they already had 2 of our trailers in there.
Roundabout and take the third exit.
If we leave, and that's 4 trailers that they've got tied up that we can't, and we haven't got, I don't think we've got the amount of trailers spare. So I think that's part of the problem. So they'd have 4 trailers tied up. So I said to the bloke, I said, well, they're throwing the toys at the pram here, mate. Is there no way you can get anything done? He said, no. I said, well, I'm going to have to take that. And he went, well, if you do, then that's it. Yeah, that's fine. Because I think what happened, they'd already had 2 in there. They got another 2, and there was another 2 or 3 due in today. So that would have been, I think it was 3 in today. So it's 3, 4, 5, 7 trailers tied up. Now that's that's a lot of trailers. And so they just got billed. So I'm taking this all the way back down to Southampton, dumping it back on the docks, where there'll be billed storage fees, and then they'll be billed again, because they haven't, it's supposed to be trailer drop and swap, and that's what they're paying. They're not paying for a live tip, they're paying the cheaper version for a drop and swap. If you can't do that,
cross the roundabout and take the second exit.
Yeah, that's the deal. So the deal is, if the trailer's not ready when we come in to collect it at the agreed time, then you don't get your goods. We take it back to the docks and you get billed again. So that's how it works. So yeah, heading back to Southampton with the trailer and the goods that I dragged all the way up from London Gateway yesterday. And there is a loose plan in place for the day.
Follow A43 for 9 miles.
And the loose plan is, get down to Southampton, get this box off, and be on the docks for 7 o'clock. Now, I don't think that's going to happen, because somehow out of all of this, I've got to squeeze a 45-minute break in. I'm on 2 hours of drive time now. It's another 2 and a bit hours, I'm on 2 hours 7 minutes actually. So you've got to allow a good two and a half from here, 2 and a quarter, 2 and a quarter, which takes me up to 4 and a half. That means I've got no time to get round the docks. So I'm going to have to pull over somewhere. Somewhere on the way down, where I'm not 100% certain of. I'm going to try and get down to Sutton, Scotland or Randoms. So that's the state of play. Now I've been asked a couple of questions recently. Do you think I can remember them? I'll see if they come to me. Should have written them down. I've got a book that I'll write stuff down in, and I forgot to write it down in the book. In fact, there's no hope, is there? Brakes came to me. Brakes. For those of you that don't truck or don't have a goods vehicle or a bus license, and you watch other trucking videos, you often hear, especially the Americans and the UK drivers, the Americans more, they talk about Jake brakes, and we in this country talk about retarders. They do the same thing, more or less, but they do. They slow the vehicle down. So, buzzers, they're coming. Oh, there's no problem up ahead. Better not be. So, two types of brakes. Traditional braking system that you have on same as you have on a car. You know, you press the brake pedal, whether it's discs or drums. They slow that they slow the vehicle down in a traditional way, same as your car. On heavy goods vehicles and on buses and coaches, you also have what's known as a retarder. What Americans call it Jake brake. Now there's various different systems, all have their own different ways of doing it depending on the system that's fitted to your particular vehicle. But without trying to complicate it or get too engineering type things, effectively what it does is engine braking. And what it does is that if the problem you have with a heavy goods vehicle, and I'm just going to take a truck for argument's sake, is that when it's fully loaded and you're going downhill, if you're continually on the brakes, they can get really hot. And when they get really hot, they become less efficient. And there was also the possibility that they could fail. So, another type of braking system was invented, which means that there's less wear and tear on your brake pads, and it uses the engine to help slow you down rather than a mechanical system whereby you press the pedal and by a system of either air or cables or electronics or a combination of all three slows the wheels down. So we're using engine braking. Now that engine braking can be done in a number of different ways, either by feeding exhaust gas back into the engine to help slow it down, or by opening this is where it all gets really complicated, by opening different valves to let the compressed air out, or compressing the air to slow the pistons down. I don't fully understand it myself. So, in a nutshell, there's two different types of braking systems. An engine braking system, which is operated by normally a lever or a switch, but generally in the UK it's operated by a lever, and there's 1, 2 or 3 different settings. So next time I come to a big hill, I'll put it on, and there's plenty along here. Or when I'm coming up to a set of traffic lights, you'll often hear the engine tone sort of, it sounds like it's over revving as we come up, and I always say it's the reverse thrusters going on. And it just takes the wear and tear off the main braking system. It's a more efficient way of braking. So I don't know if that made any sense whatsoever. Alright, let's put it into click 1. You can hear the engine tone change slightly there. I don't need, and that's it off again. We're on cruise control, we set it 53, but it went up there as I was going downhill, so I've got a little bit of weight on, not a great deal, but enough to push me on. It picked up a little bit of speed, so I went up to, I'm quite happy to sit at 50, these are things to sit at 56 all day long. But anything over 56, then Well, I don't like to take it over 56. So we're going to 57, 58. But you can't leave it there. Otherwise you get what's known as an overspeed or an infringement on your tachograph if you remain at that speed for 30 seconds or longer. That's another thing. There's always a big discussion you see on the forums. People say, "Oh, I never get flashed in anymore, and I never get thank you, and I never get a thank you." And I say it myself, and sometimes I'm guilty of forgetting to flash people in, but I do notice it more and more that people don't do it. I think it goes back to the old days, you know, like a bit of courtesy. Because it's not taught now. It's not taught, and you're not in the highway codes. And if you look at the letter of the law, if you look at in the highway code, a flash that, and when I was teaching cars, I used to teach this, so I'm guilty of it myself. Is that a flash of the lights means to other people, effectively, I'm making you aware of my presence. It doesn't mean flash the lights, come on in, your turn to go, come on then fella, you know, none of this. But that's how we interpret it, isn't it, you know? And a lot of old school drivers, it is, I'm warning you, you know, and you could interpret it as, yeah, I'm warning you of your presence, yeah, you can go on in now. So, it's a strange one, but old school drivers, flash the lights, let people in. You know, when you're clear. If you don't get a flash, it's like, oh, maybe you're too close. Or if it's a really long flash, you're definitely too fucking close. So just picking up a bit of speed there. First click. Just brings the speed immediately straight back down again. There you go. That's enough. Only needed one click. Do as I come up to the junction. Cruise control will slow me down there, so I won't bother with that. Cruise off. Just going to accelerate a bit.
After a quarter of a mile, cross the roundabout.
So first click.
First exit, A43.
Second click. Third click. You can hear it working quite hard.
Cross the roundabout and take the first exit.
Go. Off, accelerate, away we go. We have blue lights up here. What's occurring? On the road. Broken down. Slow it down. No idea what's going on.
After half a mile, cross the roundabout and take the second exit, A43.
Quite sure what's going on there, but there's a couple of coppers pulled some people over. What's it? Don't know. Strange one, didn't it? Like I was involved in an accident.
Cross the roundabout and and take the second exit, A43.
That car's still there. So I used both systems then, the foot brake and the retarder. Straight into the third position. You can hear it working, revving the engine. Back off, bit of gas.
Cross the roundabout and take the second exit, A43.
Lights are kind. Oh, he's heavy in front. He might take off. Yeah, once he's going, he's going. I've got a bit of weight, so I don't think I'm going to be able to get past him before the next roundabout. Yeah, he's going.
After half a mile, cross the roundabout and take the second exit, A43.
Warren's another one of our Kalina's finest. Part of the same group that bought out Eddie Steady Eddie.
Cross the roundabout and take the second exit, A43.
Go on then, my son, there's nothing coming. Whoa, put the squeeze on that van, mate. You've got to keep it over. Let's see if we can get by him now. If we've got a couple of miles. Oh, we haven't. We've got about 1 mile. He's pulling away. He's hoofing on. So we've hit 800 subscribers. Thank you very much. Amazing. I would never have thunk it. Yeah, I just
Half a mile, cross the roundabout and take the second exit, A43.
bit of a surprise, really. Like I always say, I mean, the only reason I started doing this was to remind me in my later years of my failing memory. Now you can hear her slowing down.
Cross the roundabout and
Little bit
take
of
the
foot brake.
second exit, A43.
Nice and gentle around the corners. A little bit late with a signal there, my son.
Follow A43 for 3 miles.
I'm definitely going to have to take a 45 before I go on the docks, which is a bit of a bugger. Come on, bits of speed up. There we go. And we're running out of coffee. No, I never do. Oh, when I was up at the stockyard, pulled into a bay last night, and I thought, you know what? There's two ways you could go into the bay. You could either drive straight into it, or I could have spun round and drove out the other way. There's like, you know, you can face either way. And I thought to myself, as I pulled into the bay, I thought, I think I'll turn around and go the other way, so I'm facing. I'll have a clear run out in the morning, you know, won't get blocked in that way. Oh, fuck. Some park right, woke up this morning, there's a truck parked right across me. Oh, for fuck's sake. So I had to reverse out of my bay. Luckily there was room behind me, plenty of room to do it, and go the wrong way round the car park. Oh, what a ball ache. If I'd have parked the way I was originally, I'd have been able to just drive straight out. 50-50 chance, got it wrong. Never mind, we got out, so it's not an issue. Well, I saw the sunrise this morning at about 2:30. There was chinks of light coming up, but not down here. So up north is definitely getting the better weather at the moment. Yeah, there might be a rough plan later on today. It is a very loose plan at the moment, but I'm going onto the dock. I'm getting this box offloaded, and I'm going to pick up a full one on the quay, and then I'm going up to Lichfield, where I was a fortnight ago on a Friday night. I've got to be there at lunchtime. I'll be there for 12 o'clock. I don't think that's going to happen, so I might be a little bit later. So as long as they can unload me, I should be alright. See, the retarder's doing its own work now. So, truck's doing the work for me, slowing down.
Cross the roundabout and take the second exit, A43.
A bit of a helping hand there.
Keep left.
Come on in. Warren's group, part of the Cleaver group. Where's he going? To the left. Excuse me. Once he's going, that lad in front, he's going, but it takes a little bit of going. Oh no, he's got his foot down now.
After half a mile, keep left, then keep right.
Trouble with those double deckers, you don't want to be he may not have loaded that himself, and there might have been a load of agency boys that loaded it and put all the heavy stuff at the top. You just don't know.
Keep left, then keep right.
Here we go.
Keep right, then take the motorway.
I had someone try and overtake me just around here the other day. They got that wrong. So we've covered flashing of the lights and engine braking. Is there anything else? Is there anything else that you've heard of and you go, God, I wonder what that means? They often, I hear them talking about it, but I've got no idea what it means. And why are you only doing 50 mile an hour, sir? Come on, there you go. Going faster than 50. Make this work for me today. We're on a bit of a schedule. So yeah, I was talking about the loose plan. Right, there is a very loose plan, and it is extremely loose because I don't know whether it'll happen or not. But I'm going out to Litchfield. I'm going to be tight on time by the time I've finished unloading there. And it's whether this box can go to London Gateway or not, I don't know. But if it can, then there is a chance that I'll be picking up a job from London Gateway that's got to be down in Red Roof for early hours Monday morning. Which should suit me down to the ground. But it will be it'll be a tough gig. It's doable, just I think. Yeah, it's doable. But we'll see what happens. So it may not come off. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I've only got a few mouthfuls of coffee left. It's not going to get me down the A34. I'll be out. Out. Dull and overcast. 15 degrees. It was really warm last night. Up north it was warm. Muggy. But the weather's got worse as I've headed south. So who else do you watch? Is there anybody that you... I should write down a list of people that I watch on a regular basis, and yeah, I'll have to do that and then go through them. So I watch a lot of really weird, well, not weird, But varied, and it's all to do because I listen for the personalities, you know. Because I like just listening to what they talk about. I think they're either fun or exciting or interesting. Or
After 1.2 miles, take the exit 9E05 towards Oxford.
and I watch all sorts of different things, you know. And it's I watch a few trucking channels. Not all of them British. I'll do a separate video. I think, on all the different people that I watch, because there's quite a few. I've got you know, like I say, it's yeah, there's quite a few. So I'll do that in a separate video. But who do you watch? Is there anyone that you think, oh, they're interesting, and I like watching them? Don't have to be trucking. It can be anything. I watch all sorts.
After half a mile, take the exit 9E05 towards Oxford. Then go right on the roundabout and take the third exit, A34. Take the exit 9. Then go right on the roundabout and take the third exit.
Here we go. What did that pick up there? Black line. Right, I'll get that switched off in a minute or two. That might have been the white line, I'll give them that.
After a quarter of a mile, go right on the roundabout and take the third exit, A34, towards Oxford. Go right on the roundabout and take the third exit.
Come on then, come on then. On you go, on you go. See how his trailer cuts across that white line there. Needed
Take
a bit.
the exit, A34.
Needed to be a bit further over to the left. You wouldn't get that cut. If you continually do that, you're going to collect a car at some point. Plus he's got a marker light out on his trailer. On both sides, funnily enough. At the bottom.
Follow A34 towards Oxford for 12 miles.
Okay. we doing for time? Let's have a look. Okay, I've got it going back to the yard, which I'm not going to. It gives me a rough idea. 4 minutes past 5. Driving for 2 hours 40 on the clock. So by the time I get down to Southampton, I'll have done half a day's work. It'll only be about 7 o'clock. Gone out to Lichfield, I'll be job done. I don't know where I'll go after that. There's Barton truck stop, just a little bit further down the road, about 10 minutes. I might end up getting in there tonight. I suspect if I'm going to Gateway, that'll be the plan. If not, it'll be back down here, and I don't know where I'm going to park. Don't know where I'm going to get to, where I will get to. It might even be, even if I'm coming down here, it might still be Barton truck stop, even though it's going 10 minutes in the wrong direction. It's the nearest truck stop, so I'm going to be pretty tight on time. I reckon by the time I'm done and tipped, I might even run out of time on the bay, which will be which could be a bit of a problem because it's quite early on in the day. But you know, quite early in the, you know, if you get there at 6 o'clock and you run out of time, they've got no one else coming in, but at 2 o'clock they might have another couple of trailers coming in. They might need to use the bay. So yeah, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Let's not worry about it at the moment. But this lad's only doing 52. I want to be doing, I want to sit at 53. So we'll have to wait until this lad comes by me now. Nice clean unit. No outfit. 70 plate Scania. Finally get by this bloke. We've been behind him since the A5. If I wasn't time critical today, I'd have just sat behind him. The new drivers, he won't flush in. So I'll just keep my foot down, get clear of him a bit. And I'm sitting at 56 at the moment, and then I'll let it drop back to 53. Get up this hill. Oh, misty murky. So what's everyone doing for the weekend? Anything nice? Well, you'll have had it by the time you watch this. It's probably be next weekend. I don't know what I've recorded. I didn't go back to work until Wednesday, did I? So I had Monday and Tuesday off. We still had no results through yet. The last blood test, maybe today. Doesn't appear to be in too much pain at all, so that's a good thing. So the original plan was, if you remember me saying about it, was that she was going to supposed to be going to Holland to see her dad with a friend of hers, one of her best friends, and that was a bit up in the air at the beginning of the week, like Monday and Tuesday, and then she decided that she felt well enough to do it, and she didn't really want to miss the opportunity of going. But the added complication to that was the fact that there was a fucking train strike, and that caused hassle. The train they were supposed to be on got cancelled, and then the Eurostar train, so they had to book another ticket to get another train, which thankfully went. And then the Eurostar train didn't go all the way, supposed to go all the way to Amsterdam, but it terminated in Brussels, so they had to get another train in Brussels up to Alkmaar, which is the nearest train station to where she lives, which is just north of Amsterdam. And so they eventually got there last night. I haven't spoke to her, so I went to bed quite early last night. But they got on the train yesterday, and her friend just went, bit of a problem. What's that then? I haven't got my passport. Fucking hell. So she had to dive off the, luckily her husband was giving them a lift in the Southampton train station. So he wasn't too far away, so she had to go back and get her, take her home, get her passport, and then try and get her back. And they eventually caught up with each other back up in London. Oh dear, oh dear. Old bull-nosed Scania going by. Left hooker, V8. Well, let's hope the old billing up there, mate, otherwise Mr. Cleaver's going to be getting a fucking bill through the post. 50-mile-an-hour limit through here. He's currently doing 56. I can see that with my display down here. Never late in a V8. Yeah, pick a few fines up on the way through though, don't you? Frilly knickers must be up his arse. Mr. Hooker man. That's probably why he's got his foot down. Excuse me. But at least with it being a bit overcast, it's not scorchio hot in the cab. Oh, I get hiccups now. How do you get hiccups?
1.2 miles, keep right.
I'm not doing anything other than just sitting here. Yawning. Walk on it. No, he didn't give a fuck. So the other drivers that are on here, what do you do? Do you flash people back in, or do you not bother? And do you thank people? I must admit, with a bit of mirror cams, you've got a job to see people, and quite a few. I'm not the only one to say this, so I know I'm not alone. It's sometimes difficult to see people flashing you back in. Mind you, I know I don't often see people saying thank you to me when they're coming in front of me, so that's nothing to. That's no guide. Steady Eddie with a box on. The lay-by there. They do a little bit of container work. Some black old tyre marks along here, they've had something lock on. Blimey. I don't know if you saw those there. Well, when I pull over, when I get 45 off, 45 minutes, I'm going to be going to in the sack for 30 minutes, I tell you. I reckon about 2 mouthfuls left of coffee. I finished up on the Greek coffee today. So that was so the one I had there was a bit of a blend. It was 2 spoonfuls of Greek and 2 spoonfuls of Peruvian. That tasted quite nice actually. The Peruvian is a bit of a coarser grade. Gorgeous Kira is going to kill me as well. I wore one of my best t-shirts to work, and I've got fifth wheel grease all down the front of it. Brand new t-shirt as well. I thought I'll wear that, but no, fifth wheel grease all down the front of it. Yeah. Hoping I put it in the washing machine, it'll come out. Sometimes it does. But most of the time it doesn't. Fifth wheel grease just tends to get everywhere. Pigeon, get out of the way! Fucking hell! Didn't hear a clump, so I think it did. Ideally, I'd like to pull over now, but you've got to play the it's playing the tactical game of tactical taco time management. You know, I would love to pull over now and get 45-minute break. I've got 64 miles to go, and I'd see if I have a break now. By the time I fucked around on the dogs, well, if I have a break now, so it's an hour, it's roughly an hour, just over an hour, hour and 10, something like that, hour and a quarter max. So that's an hour and a quarter. And then I've got at least half an hour to 45 minutes fucking about on the dogs. So that's 2 hours. And it's 3 hours up to where I'm going, so I'm going to have to take 45. Whereas if I get all the way down to Southampton, by the time I've been on the dogs, I might be able to squeak it getting up there without having to take another 45. See where I'm coming from? Because the time is so tight, critical. So I've got to push on really. I am going to try and get into something Scotland though, because I can't guarantee that I can get into. I can't guarantee that I can get into randoms because of the. They've just. I despair sometimes of how they can get things so wrong. They've put in new coach parking, which is totally fucked it up from what I can see. I mean, I just can't, it doesn't make any sense to me. Doesn't make any sense. There's a big eagerly type bird there. I wish I could I could go, yeah, that's a whatever it is. it's a hawk or a kestrel or a buzzard or whatever they are. I've got no idea. Some of them, they're big bastards. No idea what they are. Huge wingspans by the looks of them. It's when you need your I Spy book of bird spotting. Remember the old I Spy books? I used to love those. They still do them. I wonder if they do. I Spy, used to have I Spy all sorts. Great for car journeys. I Spy lorries, I Spy cars, I Spy trees. I had always, every birthday and Christmas, I used to always get an I Spy book. And then can you send off for a badge? I'm sure I had a badge. I Spy flowers, and I Spy all sorts. They should do a modern day one. I Spy a fuckwit. Fuck me, that book would be full up. I'd fill it within a day. Yeah, I Spy books. Think about it, it's quite a good way to learn, wasn't it, really? The old I Spy books, you know, you go out with your book, go and look at all the, you know, I remember getting a book on trees. I Spy trees. You say that to a kid today and they'd go, you fucking kidding me? Well, they wouldn't say, I'm fucking kidding, but they'd say, why would you want to do that? So you can learn about what different trees are. Why? Maybe I'm doing kids an injustice, you know. I usually do, but you know, it's. No, it's alright. I'll stay on my Xbox, shoot people. Yeah, that's worthwhile. You do that. Or I'll play. FIFA football. Well, with all your mates, yeah. Why don't you go down the park, get a couple of jumpers, make a goal, and do it for real? I'd just do it on the Xbox. Fucking hell. I mean, that was the thing, wasn't it? That's all you used to hear every day. Don't get grass stains on the knees of those trousers. Yeah, because of course you listened to that, didn't you? I keep saying it, but I feel sorry for the kids today because they just didn't have the same sort of childhood as I did. You know, it's just, from what I can see of it, it's absolutely shite. Shockingly bad. Boring as hell. You know, hands up, who used to go out scrumping? Yeah. You know? Going down the woods, muck about. Find an old bit of rope and a tie and make a swing. Nearly kill yourself. things to do. I'm surprised half of us are still here. Tearing around on our push bikes. You know, this is the days before Walkmans. We used to have this little I remember my mate, he had a little transistor radio. And he had a Rally Tomahawk, which was like a scaled down version of a chopper. You know, the Rally chopper, the iconic chopper. I had the chipper, funny enough, orange chipper, which was a scaled down version as well. But I'm not sure if the I think the Tomahawk had 3 gears. My chipper didn't have any gears, I don't think. But he had a little, there was a really tiny little bike, like a little chrome rack at the back of his Tomahawk. And we used to be able to strap his little transistor radio into that. Turn it up full blast. Donna Summer, I Feel Love. What a classic song. I can't remember what age we were, but we weren't too old. Donna Summer, oh. Riding around with that blaring out. Oh, another pigeon going mad. Kids won't be doing that today. They've got the fucking earbuds in, haven't they? Put a radio on your bike. Right, here we go. Right, 1 click. Hear the engine change. 2 clicks. Engine change. 3 clicks. She's staying where she is. Bit of brake. Just holding herself at 56 now. So I get down to the bottom here, level out, off the brake. Now run on. Yeah, kids today, I tell you. Just seemed to be was it safer back then? I don't know if it was really. I don't know. I don't know if it was any safer. But we just used to not worry about it so much. Well, I remember as a kid we used to go and play on the building sites. You know, when all the builders went home at like 4:30, right, down the building site where they were digging the trenches and the footings and that, where they were digging the footings out, we used to play war games in there. In the mucking around in there, climbing over the scaffolding in and out of the houses that were being built. So there's no fences up in those days, was there? You know, there was nothing at all. Just have a right old time. Well, you try doing that today. Go on, Bennett. Well, you wouldn't be able to, would you? Unless you had to start scaling fences and stuff like that, but oh, it was dangerous, wasn't it? Of course it was. Well, was it? Don't know. Who knows? But we had a bloody good time. Yeah, mucking around down the building sites. Down to Common in September, picking the blackberries. Just enjoy doing that. Go back with big bagfuls. Mum would do a crumble like, you know. Every year I say, we're going to go and get some blackberries this year, we're going to go and pick them fresh, you know, but we never get round to it. That used to be like a ritual. We used to have to go out and do that. It'd be like 2 or 3 weekends, but all we did was pick bloody blackberries. Oh, that trailer was a bit messed up, wasn't it? Oh, yeah, bump. Oh, I don't know. I just... The innocence of growing up has been lost, I think. Definitely been lost. Now I'm 55 in July, so anyone that's around my age or older would have, I think, realised that we had the best of times in comparison. I know that technology and everything like that, and in some regards that, you know, yeah, things have got better. Well, have they? I'm not convinced. I don't think I am convinced, to be honest with you. You know, things are better as in, I don't have to go to bed with a coat over me anymore because I'm so fucking cold in the house. I've got ice forming on the inside of my window panes in my bedroom. And there's that much condensation on the windowsill that it puddles and forms ice. You know, I haven't got to worry about that now. Fully centrally heated house and everything, you know, and all the mod cons, hot water on demand and all that malarkey. But no, so certain things have obviously improved.
After half a mile, keep right.
But when you compare what I did as a kid to what Goat Boy does or is, it's bloody boring. He finished his exams on Wednesday, and I think I said in a previous video that him and his mates all decided to go out and celebrate by going into Bournemouth and going clubbing on a Wednesday night. And I said, look, watch out, you ain't don't get overexcited, you know. You're just gonna, you know, it's just gonna be Lilo Lil and her mates and a load of grab a granny night. I had to explain what grab a granny was. Those that know. But he didn't go in the end. They didn't go out. They all felt a little tired. They were fucking tired. I didn't know what the word. That wasn't even a word in my vocabulary at 18. I feel sorry for. I'd like to say I feel sorry for him because it's just shit. I just wish that they could have the amount of fun that I had. You know, life. I just think that it's boring. I know everyone's different. You know, when I was 18, I was like a thing on a string. I was all over the place. But I had a bloody good time. We'd be out clubbing. Like, we'd go out clubbing. Or I think we usually have maybe Monday or Tuesday. You know, if we were. I remember going clubbing at least, usually on a Wednesday, definitely on a Thursday, definitely on a Friday, definitely on a Saturday. Sunday, we used to go down and have a few beers. And that was either in the Naffy bar, or if we were going down to do the laundry, we'd start early and then do the laundry down at the local laundrette, and then get pissed up in the pub which was opposite. Monday was normally a bit of a quiet night because you were just, you know, you were pretty hanging. But I was saying that the other day, we were talking about it the other day, and it was I don't know if I've ever said it, but in Germany at the time there was 4 Deutschmarks to the pound. So like 25p. Now, so it was a marker point, right? So by the time you rented a video out, that was a couple of marks. And then you bought a bottle of Fanta, that was a mark, that's 3 marks. And you bought a big packet of crisps, 50 pfennigs, 70 pfennigs. So you're at about 4 marks. Then you bought a big bar of chocolate. So you're at around 6-7 marks. And that was for a night in. It was cheaper to go down the bar and have 5 pints. And then they wondered why there was a drink problem. Well, when it's cheaper to get pissed than it is to stay in and watch a video, then you can see why. That's what I was doing at 18. It's clubbing 3 or 4 times a week, going out, and putting it about a bit, you know, like you do when you're 18, or like you should be doing when you're 18. Do instead, or I'll play some shoot 'em up game. I'll just find it sad. Just find it sad. Because when we said first time when you're 18, like I said, oh, good, you can come and buy us a pint. And it's not viewed as a rite of passage anymore. Do you know what I mean? It's like, used to be a big thing. Coming 18, going buying a pint, yeah, it was a big thing, wasn't it? For those of us of a certain age. Now, so I said we're going for a pint. What? Why? Well, because you're 18, and well, you can buy a pint. Right? Didn't get it at all. Horrified. I don't know. It's just I guess if I was to go back, my dad probably thought the same about me when I was 18. We didn't behave like that when I was 18. Or my grandfather would go, oh, we didn't behave like that. Do you know? I don't know. I don't know. Is it a generational thing? Or have the youth of the day just got fucking boring? I don't know. I mean, you know, I mean, on the flip side of that, you know, if I had a lad that was going out on the piss every night, I'd be slightly disturbed, I suppose, you know. But I don't know. So you can't complain too much because they're good kids, you know, and they behave themselves. They don't get into any bother. They're both reasonably sensible. So there's a lot to be thankful for. You know, you can have some kids that's gone completely off the rails, drink, drugs, rock and roll, but they're not. I'd like to think you have a little go, just to let your hair down every now and again. Oh, I don't know. I just I don't know. What do you guys think? Those that have kids. It's certainly different than the way I grew up. Hampshire. We're in Hampshire. Well, you've been on a little while now. Services. See if there's anyone left on the bridge or whether they've all moved on by now. Anyone having a lay-in? Of our boys on the road heading north. There's a couple out there still, look. Boys, curtain cider, containers back to back. See, they were practically touching each other. There's just no way that anybody can get into them then. It's the lengths you've got to go to these days. Safe for a lay-by, but there's loads of people going by. or services where you got safety by numbers, but it doesn't mean that you're not going to get done over. I mean, take Cherwell Valley for argument's sake, or back at Chieveley. I've seen containers broken into at Chieveley and at Cherwell Valley. Nowhere's safe, and I've been done in a lay-by. Nowhere's safe. Hoping that Sutton Scotney is empty. Well, say empty. There's room to park up in there. A lot of the container boys would have left if they would have had 4, 5 or 6 o'clock BBSs. Excuse me. So from this point in, 17 miles till I hit the M3. Just take 3 hours 30. Stop for 5 minutes to have a pee. Well, I ain't got any brighter, is it? It's actually got a degree cooler. It's 14 degrees. It was 15 earlier. Down to 14. Must admit, I'm looking I didn't sleep well last night, so I'm looking forward to pulling over, get my head down for half an hour. Now 5 to 6 in the morning. Unusual to see that lay-by is so empty. Don't really want to stop in the lay-by, even with it being this light, with a loaded box. If I stop in the services, then it's viewed as being a little bit safer, but I don't think it is. It's not. Hoping I can park. Now officially out of coffee. That's not good. Oi, oi. Oh yeah. On the theme of dirty bastards, Cambridge services. I left at, I put my card in at 4 o'clock I think. So got out of the cab to do my checks, and I looked down and there's like, toilet paper. This ain't good. So I'm watching where I put my feet, and can't see nothing, but it must have blown from somewhere. So I thought, well, you know, better keep my eyes open, right? It was light, so I could see. Then I go around the back of my wagon, and I look to my left, and at the back of the bloke that was next to me, to my left, someone had curled one out behind the back of the truck. Whether it was the driver to the left or it was somebody else completely from either side, I've got no idea. But some dirty bastard had a shit at the back of the truck. And if you remember rightly, I put the video on with it sat on my dashboard and I was parked up, and you could see the petrol station was no more than about 50 metres in front of me. So it wasn't like they had to go far. And it wasn't also, without being too graphic, like they had the squitters. It was a solid old lump, you know what I mean? That didn't catch you by surprise. Just unbelievably filthy, dirty bastards. It's not alright to do that, and it's not alright to have a piss in a truck stop. It really isn't. I know someone said that they got caught short and they had a piss out the back of the tyre, but the driver was asleep. Well, I have a little bit of an issue with that. I've got to be totally honest with you. That would be me like pulling into a car park and going, well, there's your car there, I'm just going to have a piss over the back wheel. It's alright, there's no one around, so it doesn't matter. Well, it does a little bit, doesn't it? If you come out and caught me pissing over your back tyre, you might have the hump. I know, I fucking would. I'll be looking round to chop a cock off. I don't know. Everybody's different, aren't they? Some people have different views on it, but you know, I was talking to a tyre fitter, and he was saying, you know, it might evaporate, it might all go, but it still smells. And then I have to lie down in it, and he's saying I have to lie down in all of that. And my clothes, although it's dry and I can't see that there was any, but when I get up, I can smell piss on me. Even though it was all gravel and grit and dust, I can smell the piss on me. You know? I just don't, you know, I just go into the hedge, go into the grass, or, you know, it doesn't matter, you know, there's always somewhere to go, but don't do it next to a truck or a car. Because how do you know? By the time we drove away, 5 minutes later, someone doesn't walk around that and walk through it. They think it's just water, and then all of a sudden they get in the car and get back into their truck and go, oh, I can smell piss. It's all over the soles of my shoes, which is right in the carpet. It's just not on. So sorry, that's my view. I'm sticking to it. Yeah, I've been caught short. Get caught short plenty of times. I've got a swollen fucking prostate. I'm always looking around for a toilet. If I see one, I've got to nip in there. Oh, don't start me off. Don't start me off. Right, Sutton Scottish Services coming up. Let's see if I can go in here. I'm needing a pee, but I'll pee in a bottle. If I can't make it to the... it was like earlier, I pulled in that labour, I peed in my bottle there. I didn't piss on the side of the road. Pee in my bottle, I can empty it down the toilet later. So I don't want the labour sticking a piss. Here we go, inbound. We've got a heavy brake here, so we've got to screw round to the left here. See some sights for the faint-hearted. See what we got here. Where's he going? Is he going off? If he's going off, then I can go here. And I'm happy with that. That is just the job. That is just the job. Right, I'm getting my head down. So I'll speak to you all later.